Alright, here are your excuse me, notes for 11.3 arcs and chords. Go ahead and put the date up here so you know when you've filled out these notes. I'm going to start off with some definitions here, or boxes I guess to fill in. In a circle, two minor arcs are congruent if and only if their corresponding chords are congruent. A quick reminder on what chords are. Remember, chords are segments that, ooh, that's really big, that touch the outside of the circle and don't go through the middle. So if arc AD is congruent to arc BC, then segment AD, or chord AD is congruent to chord BC or segment BC. So if I know my arcs are congruent, I can say my chords are congruent. Oh, second box here. In a circle, if a diameter bisects a chord, then it is perpendicular to the chord. Perpendicular to the chord. So let me draw this in here. I'm going to draw chord CD, and I will draw my diameter through, oops, that was really bad. Let's go through a it's a squiggly diameter today, and I'm going to throw some markings on here to say that my chord is congruent here. Label this point R. I know that this then is perpendicular, so I could then say diameter, I'll label this E, B is perpendicular to chord CD. And again, that's because of my congruent markings. So two congruent parts of the chord through that diameter. Alright, moving up here, I find the indicated measure, and first thing I'm going to look at is that this is perpendicular, so that means that I have a diameter here, my diameter of my circle here. So it's perpendicular to my chord, therefore I know both parts of that chord are congruent, so 7 and 7. So in order to find A, B, which is that chord there, add that up, I get 14. Alright, looking here, I'm trying to find Km. So Km is this radius of the circle here. Given that this chord LM is 16, therefore I know that those two parts are both 8. In order to find Km, I have to remember my Pythagorean theorem, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Right here would be my hypotenuse. Km would be my hypotenuse, because again this would be my right angle. Just going to draw my triangle out here for you. Actually, I'll flip it over so you have it the same way. So this is my right angle, this is N, M, and K, so I know this is 6. I know this is 8. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals, I'll call that x squared. 36 plus 64 equals x squared. So what do I've got? I got 100 equals x squared. So x is equal to 10. Again, that's the square root of 100 and the square root of x squared. So Km then is equal to 10. So I used two things. I had to first, because they're perpendicular, I had to say that those are congruent, and then using the Pythagorean theorem. Alright, so this one I have triangle DAE is congruent to triangle BAC, and I know that DE right here is 15. What is the measure of BC? Well, looking, I'm going to go up here to my things. I got D and E are the first and third letter, and B and C are the first and third letter, so I know that BC is going to be 15. Again, those are those corresponding parts, so the measure of BC is 15. Alright, so these would also be congruent. Whoops. Congruent angles. Chords, angles. Alright. Given circle W, find XV if I know that UW is perpendicular. Get some highlighting here for you. So I know that UW is perpendicular to XV. Again, I've got a chord that's got a perpendicular diameter to it, so I got some things that I know. VW, I'm going to mark that here, is 20 or 35, and I know that WY is 21. So I'm looking to find XV. So XV is that whole chord. First thing I'm going to do is solve for that one side of that right triangle. Again, we're going to use the Pythagorean Theorem. Here's 21, 35. There's my right angle. Just kind of drawing it out of the circle for you. So I know that 21 squared plus x squared equals 35 squared. Doing the math to solve this now, I've got 441 plus x squared equals 1,225. Subtracting my 441 from both sides, x squared is equal to 784. Square root of x squared, square root of 784. I've got x is equal to 28. So 28 is half of my arc, so I'm going to say 28 plus 28 to get my whole arc, and that's going to be equal to 56. Alright, last example here. If CK, so right here, is equal to 2x plus 3, and CM is equal to 4x, solving for x, thing that I'm looking at here is that I've got a radius, which if I extended my radius would be my diameter, is cutting that in half, so we're going to set those two equal to each other. Oops, let me get my red pen. So I've got 4x equals 2x plus 3. Using what we know for algebra, I'm going to subtract this 2x first. So 2x is equal to 3. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 3 halves. You want to put that as a decimal, or x is equal to 1.5. Either way, it's fine. I could do that. Then again, for your assignment today, it's listed down here. Assignment number 3, page, which is the next page in your packet.